Alrighty, so today we have some news and update in the Jordan Neely, Daniel Penny story. So yesterday, Daniel Penny, the Marine who murdered Jordan Neely on a subway, was indicted by a New York grand jury because he, again, murdered Jordan Neely. The Marine veteran was indicted on a second-degree manslaughter charge in the May death of the homeless street performer. New York City grand jurors on Wednesday indicted Daniel Penny in the death of fellow subway rider Jordan Neely, according to two sources familiar with the matter. Penny, a 24-year-old Marine, was indicted on a second-degree manslaughter charge in the May 1st chokehold death with the homeless Neely. A representative from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg declined to comment to NBC News. The death last month has been a lightning rod on issues of mental health, crime, and race. Lawyers for Neely's family said in a statement that the indictment signaled the right result for the wrong he committed during the confrontation on an F train in Manhattan. Daniel Penny did not have the right to be the judge, jury, and executioner. That is what Jordan Neely's family said. Now, lawyers for Daniel Penny are saying that the standard of evidence for a grand jury is just, I mean, it's at the floor, really. So there has been no finding of wrongdoing. Even though he murdered somebody, it's okay because he was homeless and he was black. Obviously, I don't think that, but that's kind of the case that they're trying to make here when you really think about it. But there's been no shortage of support of literally a murderer from all different parts of the country. On May 14th, May 13th through 15th, it was reported by multiple media sources that he had raised over $1.5 million for his defense fund. Again, literally just fundraising for this shit. Just, again, these people are doting to a murderer. But a couple days ago, Jordan Neely, Daniel Penny put out a statement. He put out a statement, it was on Fox News, through his lawyers, where he said that, he acted in self-defense, so it's not murder. Here it is. Here is Daniel Penny, definitely, totally not a murderer, statement.
I'll say that I was holding on to Mr. Neely for 15 minutes. This is not true.
See, but we have multiple eyewitnesses and cell phone videos that do corroborate that story, so it is true. I mean, he's just lying at this point. But he already murdered someone, so I mean, why would I think he's going to sit there and, tell the truth?
Between stops is only a couple minutes, and so the whole interaction lasted less than 5 minutes. Some people
Still. Again, you guys can go and look this up for yourselves. The New York Police Department, they are not allowed to use chokeholds anymore to restrain people. They made it so that cops are not allowed to use chokeholds because of how dangerous they are. It can take seconds for somebody to lose consciousness in a chokehold if you do it the right way. And yes, that is 100% fact. You can look that shit up too.
Say I was trying to choke him to death, which is also not true.
But that's exactly what happened, because he died when you were choking him. So he says it's not. He says, oh, well, my intentions were, well, guess what, buddy? I don't give a fuck about your intentions. You murdered someone. You have to face the consequences for that. That's the way that this shit works. I don't care what your intention was, bro. That shit doesn't matter at all. Well, my intention was, well, guess what? Intentions, yeah, that's fine or whatever, but that's not what happened, motherfucker, okay? That's not what happened.
I was trying to restrain him.
Oh, you did a really good job of that. You restrained his life and ended it.
You can see in the video there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he's breathing.
No! What? Okay. I guess Daniel Penny's now the great video analyst over here. Bro, again, I mean, this was all your fault. He's trying to deflect blame like someone else did it, or this guy had, like, a gun and he was committing a mass shooting. Just no. You can sit here and try to deflect all you want, but you're a murderer. End of story. That's why you got indicted.
Restrain him from him being able to carry out the threats. And then some people say that this is about race, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Is it ridiculous? Is it really ridiculous? I don't think it is. I really don't think that that's that far of a ridiculous thing to claim, that it was a racial thing. I mean, you look at the rate at which African Americans, now just by police, and conservatives will sit there and say, and I know that Daniel Penny's not a police officer, but they'll sit there and say, well, the police kill more white people than they do black people. That is true. You need to look at the rate, though. The rate at which African-American people get killed by the police, because there's way more white people in this country than there are black people. There's like 233 million white people, only 333 million people in the country, and it's not only white and black people, right? Okay? So, it's really not, he can sit there and say, it's not a race thing. I mean, how do I know that? How do I know that? Because you're still alive and Jordan Neely is dead. Do you understand it? I don't think he gets it. I really don't think he gets it.
I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers. A lot of whom were people of color.
So I killed him. So I murdered him. I saw someone threatening someone else, and so I took his life. Because that's what you do when you see someone threatening someone. That's exactly what you do. You kill them. You end their life. Totally normal thing to do.
The man who helped restrain Mr. Neely was a person of color. And then a few days after.
So it couldn't have been a race thing. It couldn't have been a race thing then. That's such a great defense. This is like little kid shit over here that he's saying. Bro, what are you on?
After the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero. I don't believe that I'm a hero. But she was one.
He's really focused. For someone who sat there and said that it's not a race thing, you seem to be bringing up race. You seem to be bringing up race kind of a lot here. So, I don't feel like you needed to provide those examples if it wasn't a race thing. Strange behavior, strange things that these people say when they are defending murder.
Those people that I was trying to protect. The videos didn't start until they saw that situation was under control.
Oh yeah. You mean we didn't? See all of the minutes that you had him in a chokehold? Because according to you, it was only a couple minutes. But then again, we have all of this different information out there. The one fact that we do have, though, is that Jordan Neely is dead, and you were the one who restrained him, so...
I knew I had to act, and I acted in a way that would protect the other passengers, protect myself.
Cool, you killed someone. You murdered someone. They're dead. You made their life end. So, how do you think Jordan Neely's family feels, bro? And I don't want to hear anybody sit here and say, well, Jordan Neely had a criminal past. Okay, so what? You don't get to do vigilante justice because you see something happening. You don't get to fucking end someone's life. He didn't even know that Jordan Neely had a criminal past anyway. And it's just the most ridiculous thing that I hear conservatives say. They say, well, he had a criminal past. He had a history of abuse. And it's like, okay, and Jordan Neely or Daniel Penny knew that. How? How did anybody on that subway train know that? Nobody knew that shit. You do not get to be judge, jury, and executioner. And I know that's a really cheesy line to use. I think it is, in some contexts.
Protect Mr. Neely. I was trying to keep him on the ground until the police came.
In a chokehold that the police in New York are literally not allowed to use anymore because of how dangerous they are.
Praying that the police would come and take this situation over. I didn't want to be put in that situation, but
then you shouldn't have put yourself there. Simple as that. Easy. That easy.
I couldn't just sit still and let him carry out these threats.
No, you could have, because he didn't. He wasn't carrying out any threats. Nobody was physically harmed except for Jordan Neely. The only person that came out of this injured and not alive anymore was Jordan Neely. How does that make sense? Can you explain that one to me, Daniel Penny? What about your lawyers? Can they explain that one to me? So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with this. Again, he just got indicted yesterday. So again, I will keep you guys updated as I can, as we receive updates from the media. But guys, please let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what you think of someone who is literally a murderer, and he's sitting here trying to defend him literally ending someone else's life. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and press that bell. Turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.